Welcome back to the basement. I'm Steve Lewis. This week we look at The Monkey's Uncle, both the Disney movie and the title song from the movie. I hadn't originally planned to spend this much time on it, but when I was doing my research, I began finding such weird and wonderful stuff that I thought it would be fun to do a deep dive. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that I recently had a chance to chat with Jake, Matt, Riley, and Nate on Good Timin', a Beach Boys podcast. The discussion centered on the Still Cruisin' album, along with several other 80s and 90s Beach Boys releases, most of which are movie-related. Those guys are incredibly knowledgeable, insightful, and entertaining, and I always enjoy talking Beach Boys with them. You can check out the conversation on their excellent Good Timin', a Beach Boys podcast here on YouTube. And I want to thank Jake, Matt, Riley, and Nate for having me on. Hope we can do it again sometime. Now, getting back to The Monkey's Uncle. The movie premiered on June 23, 1965, and went into wide release on August 18th. Of course, it starred Tommy Kirk and Annette Funicello. It was a sequel to Disney's 1964 college comedy, The Misadventures of Merlin Jones, with Kirk and Funicello, who had also starred in last fall's Pajama Party for AIP. Of course, mainly interesting to us is the title song, sung by Annette and featuring the Beach Boys. The song was written by brothers Richard and Robert Sherman. Their first hit was Tall Paul, co-written with Bob Roberts. It went to number 7 for Annette in 1959, becoming her first and ultimately biggest hit record. That brought them to the attention of Disney, who hired the brothers to write music for numerous Disney movies, including the recent mega-hit soundtrack to Mary Poppins. They had also written It's a Small World After All for the attraction designed by Disney for the 1964 World's Fair. In 1966, it was relocated to Disneyland, where it continues pumping out that tune on an endless loop to this day. The Beach Boys were recruited to sing with Annette on The Monkey's Uncle, and their vocals were reportedly recorded in June 1964, 14 months before the film's wide release, and just 3 months after the release of the Merlin Jones movie. The backing track had been recorded by a group of Wrecking Crew session players. Annette and the Beach Boys are shown performing the song during the movie's opening sequence. It's a catchy, fun tune. It might even be too catchy. It has an earworm quality to it, almost on a par with the Sherman Brothers' It's a Small World After All. It features one of Annette's better vocals, and the Beach Boys' vocals can be heard clearly and distinctly. For a movie song, especially one aimed at kids, it rocks along with genuine energy and a real early 60s rock arrangement. Despite the movie being called The Monkey's Uncle, the monkey, a chimp named Stanley, which Tommy Kirk's Merlin Jones adopts, hardly features in the film's plot. Instead, the story centers around Merlin's wacky attempts to create a human-powered flying machine to win a large donation for the college. This is purely a guess, but the timing makes me wonder if maybe the plot of the sequel developed in a different direction after they recorded the song, and that Disney kept the title so they could keep the song, even though in the end the monkey was only a subplot. As discussed in earlier episodes, the song was first released on the Annette at Bikini Beach album on August 5, 1964. The song's release as a single seems to have come around late June or early July 1965, around the time of the film's premiere. In the summer of 1965, it was also re-released on Annette Sings Golden Surf and Hits to tie in with the movie. As a May 22nd Billboard article pointed out, in the film, the Beach Boys are seen and receive credits. On the Vista records, they are anonymous. They're so anonymous, it seems, that when Billboard reviewed it on July 10th, it's described as featuring a Beach Boys-type hit sound, with the reviewer seemingly unaware that it actually was the Beach Boys. As we'll see, it's evident that Disney was allowed to use the Beach Boys' names and likenesses to promote the movie, but not the record. To hype the single, Disney ran a trade ad in the July 3, 1965 issue of Cashbox, promising this girl and monkey will soon be the best-known girl and monkey in history. According to their reasons why, it's because they're on Vista single F440, which seems like a strange reason. They continue, during July and August, this record will get the most massive promotion hypo any single ever had. I assume hypo means hype. I don't know if hypo is a typo or if they used that term in 1965 and it went out of style. In any case, it's a bold claim. There's the biggest and most expensive radio campaign in Disney history. Of course, the 1,500 Annette disc jockey interviews refers to a promotional record being sent to radio stations, rather than her sitting down for 1,500 individual interviews. The record is one of those open-end interviews that comes with a script. There are silences on the record for the DJ to read the questions, then Annette gives her answers, making it appear that she just dropped by the local station for a chat. Reportedly, the record also contains the Monkey's Uncle song, which plays in full after Annette answers a question about it. The other side of the record is a completely unrelated open-end interview. Author Shirley Burden discusses her new book, Behold Thy Mother, a photographic essay on lords. Other promotional tie-ins shown in the ad are covered in greater detail in the Monkey's Uncle press book, sent to theater owners to promote the movie and the record. This one includes an advertising insert showing some of the corporate sponsor tie-ins, including an ad for Yamaha motorcycles scheduled to run in the August and September issues of various motorcycle magazines, as well as August issues of Life, Sports Illustrated, and Playboy. Yamaha dealerships were sent signs and banners and advertising materials featuring the Monkey's Uncle, along with thousands of copies of Annette's single. If you test drove a Yamaha, you could purchase a copy of the Monkey's Uncle single at the showroom for 25 cents. Disney and Yamaha were working with radio stations in 33 major U.S. cities to put on Monkey's Uncle record hops in July and August on the afternoon before the movie would open locally. There were prizes given away at each record hop, with the grand prize being his and hers Yamaha Omaha Trailmaster 80 motorcycles. One of the most unexpected tie-ins is a line of Monkey's Uncle jewelry. It was from Sarah Coventry Jewelry, which sold its items through independent sellers, usually young women, who would invite people to jewelry parties held at their homes. Sarah Coventry representatives were enlisted to promote Monkey's Uncle with a special line of jewelry advertised by Annette, and they were given promotional copies of Annette Sings Golden Surfin' Hits, which shows Annette wearing the jewelry on the cover. The press book points out that the jewelry line is being advertised in the August issue of 17 magazine. Of course, there was plenty of more conventional promotion like radio and television commercials, and the song was heavily featured. The TV spots featured the Beach Boys both visually and in the narration. The entire spot was backed by the song. When this chump adopts this chimp and his swingin' chicks, it's Go Merlin Go in Disney's new up-in-the-air comedy, The Monkey's Uncle, starring genius guy Merlin Jones with Annette, and it's all backed by the beat of the Beach Boys. At which point we're shown a clip of Annette and the Beach Boys performing the song. It's a monkey see, monkey do kind of motion picture from Walt Disney, The Monkey's Uncle. The Beach Boys feature prominently on posters, banners, and lobby cards for the movie, which could be ordered through the press book. They're mentioned in several press book articles. These are sort of thinly disguised promotional pieces meant to look like newspaper articles that theater owners were encouraged to try to sneak into their local newspaper. On page 10, there's an article, Orbiting Beach Boys in Monkey's Uncle. The Beach Boys, Uncle Sam's answer to the Beatles, are flying so high they're practically in orbit. In the short span of 2 years, the 5 young troubadours, brothers Brian, Dennis, and Carl Wilson, with Mike Love and Alan Jardine, have sold well over 1 million albums, are the idols of most of the nation's teenagers, own their own sports cars, surfboards, and music publishing company, and have individual bank accounts that would be the envy of even the most successful of recording stars. To top it off, the group has just finished filming a sequence for Walt Disney's comedy feature, The Monkey's Uncle, in which the boys play and sing the title tune with beauteous Annette. The tune was composed by the Sherman Brothers of Mary Poppins and Parent Trap fame and is what the teen set call a gasser. The picture starts out with a college fraternity party and the swinging Beach Boys and Annette entertaining there to a wild Watusi beat. Whether or not one digs that kind of jazz, the picture shouldn't be missed, because besides the hit musicians, the Disney comedy again presents the mental marvel of Midvale College, Merlin Jones, played by Tommy Kirk. In color by Technicolor, Walt Disney's feature motion picture, The Monkey's Uncle, stars Tommy Kirk, Annette, and Leon Ames. Robert Stevenson directed the Buena Vista release, with Ron Miller as associate producer. They're mentioned in the article, Beach Boys and Annette blast off with Monkey's Uncle with Watusi Dance, with dance in quotes like it couldn't seriously be thought of as an actual dance. It describes the song as a wild Watusi played by the Beach Boys, the hottest new group, and sung by Annette, the brunette beauty with the hourglass figure, who also demonstrates the sultry dance step. Of course, the press book also contains an ad for the single, along with Annette's 2 newest albums. Like most movie press books, it also features some outrageous ballyhoo ideas, things like getting a cage from the local zoo and having a DJ broadcast from it out in front of the theater while the movie's running, having a How Many Nuts in Merlin's Crash Helmet contest, and getting some thick rope and wire and making monkey tails to hang from your gas tank with a sign saying, "I've got a monkey in my tank. See the monkey's uncle at such and such theater on such and such date." It also includes a preview of their new live-action offering for the holidays, That Darn Cat, to be released in December. Also advertised in the press book is a Gold Key comic book edition of The Monkey's Uncle, and among their many exploitation ideas, they suggest selling them in the lobby or using them as contest prizes. The Monkey's Uncle comic book is another fun collectible. As you'd guess, it's just a simplified retelling of the story in 2 parts. The Beach Boys, unfortunately, are not featured. The inner cover has some additional photos from the movie, and the back cover features a bio of the chimp that plays Stanley, whose name was actually Judy. Judy was an extremely busy chimp in the 60s. She appeared in the first Merlin Jones movie in 1964, followed by appearances on TV shows like Flipper, Mr. Ed, Gilligan's Island, The Addams Family, and The Munsters. She'll stay busy after The Monkey's Uncle with major film and TV appearances, including as featured character Space Chimp Debbie the Bloop on Lost in Space beginning in the fall, and as a series regular as Judy the Chimp on Doctare beginning in 1966. Her last appearance seems to have been on the Saturday morning kids' nature series Jumbo, which ran from 1969 to 1971. After all the hype and ballyhoo and after its theatrical run, The Monkey's Uncle will end up ranked 45th in gross receipts among 1965 film releases, making it a moderate box office success. Whether the Disney company would have been satisfied with that performance is hard to say. The Misadventures of Merlin Jones had been ranked 23rd in 1964. Disney's late 64 live-action production Mary Poppins was the highest-grossing movie of 1965, and their next live-action feature, That Darn Cat, will be the 5th highest-grossing movie of 1966. Whether it was the tepid, by Disney standards, box office returns, or the changing times, Disney won't bother with a 3rd Merlin Jones movie. The fate of the single is easier to determine. Despite the most massive promotional hypo any single ever had, the record failed to chart. Undoubtedly, it was the Beach Boys' contract with Capitol that kept their name from appearing on the record or in any promotion for it. Under the circumstances, the Beach Boys might have been very happy that it worked out that way. Pop music and motion pictures move on very different production schedules, and of course, in the mid-60s, pop music was changing at an incredible pace. In the summer of '64, when they recorded it, the song might have been greeted as a sunny, fun hit with lots of teen appeal. By the summer of 1965, when the movie went into wide release, we were getting hits like Help, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, and Like a Rolling Stone. The Beach Boys' new single was the vastly more sophisticated California Girls. The Monkey's Uncle was already sounding like a throwback to an earlier time, and I'm sure the Beach Boys were pleased they didn't have disc jockeys calling it the new Beach Boys single. All these years later, with those considerations firmly a part of the past, it's a record that can be enjoyed for what it is. a lightweight, fun, catchy teen record from a unique and short-lived era. I hope you join me next week when we resume our look at pop culture in 1965 with the very eventful new television season from the fall. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this kind of strange, admittedly, episode. I look forward to your comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Bye.